Hey there. So, this is part 2 of Will It Run. I'm going to climb under this thing. It's outside now. I'm going to climb under it. I'm going to change the starter and probably throw some spark plugs in it. And I got to reclock the intermediate shaft. And I dug out a distributor I trust that works. Maybe, if I work quickly, tonight will be the night it comes to life. But let's get that mini starter on first. This here is the starter I'm going to put on it. This is a used mini starter. Got it from the boneyard I used to work at here in town. It's B&H Auto Parts, if anyone would like to know. And yeah, so it's out of like a 94 Dakota. I like these because they take up less space. They draw less on the battery. And I mean, they spin the motor over faster. They're just a much better starter, and they fit all of them from a slant 6 all the way up to, you know, the 440. And I mean, they're on everything. So like anything that came with a I want to say the roller motors with TBI is when this originated, in like 88 or 89. I'm not exactly sure on when they came out, roughly around that time, but certainly anything with a Magnum, so a 3.9 liter, 5.2 liter, or 5.9 liter, so Dakota, Ram, Durango, Jeeps, anything that is Magnum powered will have this unit on it. Now sometimes they have you know, this big terminal here, and sometimes they have a slide plug that plugs in on the smaller one here. I've used those before, and I've just, you know, cut the old harness off of the donor vehicle in the yard and spliced it back together, and it's worked fine. Now this is a terminal adapter. They sell them on eBay. I think this was like $17 or something like that. I'm not sure if every big block needs them. However, on my 71 Monaco that I built, this post was coming in contact with the block, so I actually had to shorten it, and it was still really close. And what I ended up doing was taking some of that like spark plug wire heat protector wrap, the boot protectors, and putting it in between this post and the block. That way it wouldn't arc out again. So this little adapter is available on eBay. It moves the wires down into a more stock location, and you just slip it up in there, and it works great. So I'm gonna get under there. Got the car on these jack stands, these beautiful old Western mags. Of course, I got my jack for extra support. I'm gonna get under there with this 5/8 inch wrench, and I'm gonna get covered in mud and dirt because this thing is a pig, and you can tell it's been sitting in the desert forever. So let's get this starter changed, and then we'll probably pull plugs out too. I think now would be the time to do it. Here's this big hunk of crap. This thing is absolutely filthy. You can tell it's been in a boneyard. I haven't ever really come under here. That's not hooked up, so driving it might not really happen. I mean, we could try, right? But I'm just looking at some of this. We got the shifter linkage is wired on. Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense because they were missing the key. This exhaust pipe's smashed flat pretty good. But yeah, this thing must have just been sitting on the ground out there, huh? The amount of dirt on this vehicle. Oh, gosh. But under here don't look too bad. From what I could see. Not sure what this is. It looks to me like my first glance was rust hole, but now I'm looking closer at it, and it looks like it's actually undercoating that was cooked off from probably an exhaust pipe being too close. So let's hope that's the case. I'll get over there and poke it here in a few. But I'm gonna start trying to knock off this starter here. It's a 5/8. So you got a 5/8 nut here buried under all this dirt. And then there's another one up here. It's a bolt up on top. Yeah, I was worried that this would be a mess, but Someone's got to do it, right? Let's see what we got. All right, I got the starter out. The whole stud came out on the bottom, but kind of expect that with that much dirt clogging up threads. So that's good. I'm gonna say this is the vehicle's original starter because it's pretty big, and apparently the 440s and Hemis and heavy duty vehicles got a bigger starter than the others, so that's kind of neat. Down here somewhere under all this crap there's gonna be a part number and a date code. Maybe I'll get the wire brush out and we'll check it out. Yep, get that 9/16 on there, that'll work. I don't even care if it snaps the stud, to be completely honest. It won't though, these starters are built for tanks. There's one. Now, time to get the little one to come off. Like I said, I'm certain it fooled me. It's this goofy size that I don't think I've used on anything else but the small terminal on Chrysler starters. 11/30 seconds. I just thought about it. 5/16 is going to be too small. 3/8 is too big, so got this size that fits nothing else except for this. I'm sure there's probably another bolt that fits, but or nut, whatever. So this is the one I've used it for my entire life. And that's not it, really? No, I don't believe you. Let's get this down here in a better spot. There it is. Yep, 11/30 seconds. I should have known. Well, I did know. I knew better. It just always looks to be a 3/8 because it's so dang close. The starter wires are coming off nice. That's good. And the new one will go in much easier. Even though for something sitting off the road for as long as this has been, it's not going bad so far. I was hoping the motor looked better, but and then once these come off, I'll pull these wires up and wire brush them off a little so they make a cleaner connection. And we'll jump right back under here with the Mini, get it put in place. Like I said, that's not going to be that big of a deal though. Yep. 11:30 seconds. All that dust and dirt's falling on the lens. I don't know how good of a shot I just got, but you guys know how my eyes feel. These wires out here, good. I think it was limiting how much I could move this big old turd. I hate these things. Some guys have to hear it. I love that Chrysler sound. I love the sound they make when you take them off and throw them across the shop. Yeah, that's a big one. That's the big boy. That's probably the original. Let's see this camera here. All right. Get this out. Got our wires. Clean them off. Like I said, I'm gonna pull them off and up and clean them up just quickly with the wire brush. We'll jump back on here and get this Mini starter in. I will admit, I don't know how far I'm going to take it. I'm going to try to make it run. That'd be really nice. However, if I do keep running into roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, there it is. That's what I wanted. It'll work anyway. A little piece of sandpaper. Where's my wire brush? There it is. Anyways, so if I keep running into roadblocks, I haven't really ran into any. I ran into a reality check of a fire hazard, and that's what's gotten this series on hold until this far. Now the vehicle's outside, and if it goes up, well, oops. I'd try my best to put it out, but at least I wouldn't lose the shop. But I'm gonna put a decent amount of effort into it. I'm gonna get the starter on tonight. I mean, the sun's starting to go down, as you can see. Working outside. Yeah, I'd like to get the starter in, maybe get some plugs in, maybe get it up to top dead center, and get the intermediate shaft in straight, get it clocked. We'll bust out the factory service manual and go over that. But if I run into a bunch of issues, I'm gonna pull a plug on this. We're gonna play Will It Run. We'll try take 2 with the new wagon, because it's got its own set of problems of why it's not running, or why we suspect it's not running. It should run though. If I recall correctly, the previous seller, he had it running, and he said it got gummed up while it was running. I don't know what that means. Usually when people say gummed up, it's like a carburetor issue, but the valve covers are just kind of like not even really bolted to the motor. They're just sitting on there, and it really makes me wonder what the heck. So we got a whole nother can of worms to open up there. But I'm gonna clean these battery connections off. I'm gonna throw my phone on the charger for a couple minutes, and I'm gonna get this mini starter in. So that's where we're at, and I'll be back here in a second. All right, it got dark, but it's okay. You look closely. See, there's a mini starter down in there. Look past the manifold. Boom. So I got that in. I'm changing plugs right now. I got the old distributor out because it's no good. Well, I don't know that it's no good, but I'm not gonna mess with it. The intermediate shaft out. Like I said, I pulled it to prime the motor, so I'm gonna have to get it spinning, get it spun over to top dead center on the number 1 cylinder, and then this should drop in and be pointing straight forward, something like that. I gotta get it to top dead center first. These are the plugs out of this bank. I'm not seeing any rust. They're plenty nasty, that's for sure, but no rust, which is good. That means the cylinders aren't all rusted out. I mean, I'm not certain of that. There could probably be speckles of rust in there, but there's no rust on the straps, so that's good. So I've got, here, we'll go to my box of stuff here for the rebuild. Well, not the rebuild, but the wake up. That coil should be good. Cap, good cap with decent wires. And one of these distributors, let's see. This is a single point for a 440. I think it was like a 66 4-speed car or something. This is what that decoded to. And then we got, this is probably the one I'm gonna use. This one down here. It's actually a remand unit from that Medina car. He replaced this. It wasn't quite right, but the car ran with it. So I know the points should be ready to rock. I should be able to drop this in and go. Put the little straps on there, but I think this is the one I'm gonna try. So that's where we're at. Here, I'll turn it over real quick. You can hear that mini starter cranking it. It spins a little faster. I think the battery's starting to die. So Alright, I'm going to keep changing plugs. Alright, back out here. I got all the spark plugs changed. So I got all 8 of them done. I brought the number 1 cylinder up to top dead center. And how I did that, I don't have my GoPro. I wish I did, but I'll just give you guys a brief rundown of how I did that. Put all the spark plugs in, and then I pulled that one back out. And I jumped the starter relay, and I waited until, well, actually, what I did, because I was able to do this, it's close. I had my thumb over the hole, and I kept bumping this relay to turn the engine. And when I felt the pressure of the compression push my finger off, I knew the piston came all the way up. And then what I did was I came over here. It's going to be difficult to see down in there, but I wanted to see where my timing mark was on the balancer, and you can't really tell, but maybe I can get my phone down in there, it'll help us see. You got it roughly near the middle. That's how I know it's basically at 0 top dead center. So now what you want to do, you want to take this fella, and I believe we'll go to the double check the factory service manual here in a second, but I believe it's gonna say we drop this in down there in the hole. I believe what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop this in, and it needs to be pointing straight towards the front of the motor, maybe slightly one way or the other. So let's go see what the factory service manual says. This is my factory service manual for my 70 Dodge Monaco. I recommend whatever vehicle you have for any Mopar. I don't care if it's A body, B body, whatever. Find your year and get one of these books, because it is your Bible. It has everything in it. I'm going to flip open to section 9, and I will show you guys what it says about installing the gear drive, or the distributor gear. Distributor timing right here. Let's see, what page are we on? Where's it at? 9-35, 383, 440 cubic inch engines. Before installing distributor and oil pump drive shaft, time the engine as follows. Number 1, rotate the crankshaft until number 1 cylinder is at top dead center on the firing stroke. 2, when in this position, the straight line on the vibration dampener should be under 0 on the timing indicator. That's what I just showed you guys out there. Coat shaft and drive gear with engine oil. Install the shaft so that after gear spirals into place, it will index with the oil pump shaft. So slot in top of drive gear will be parallel with the center line of the crankshaft. Okay, so it's parallel with the center of the crankshaft. So that's telling you, here, good thing we got an engine right here. When that's at top dead center, imagine the distributor's out, that thing should be clocked pretty much straight. And I believe, see figure 34, let's go to the next page, there it is. Figure 34, distributor gear installed. So let's get a little oil on that puppy and drop it in. Take this, a quart of oil, let's coat, run it back up. Just want to get it something on it. Sorry, my phone's battery is getting low. So now we got oil on that. Put a little bit more in it. I just set it right in the quart. Take it. I'll just throw it down in there. And then I have a way to clock it. There, it's starting to go in. There's that. Got my magnet stick. Lets me know I got a good hold on it. I can slowly start to put it in. Hang on. See if I can't put this right there. You can get a good look at it while I walk away for a second. There we go. It's starting to get dark and cold, so not going to be able to finish tonight, which is a bummer, but I've made some good progress. Missing my flathead screwdriver. It's probably sitting right in front of my face, but I can't see it. There it is. Yes, it is getting dark out there. It's kind of chilly, but let's see if I can't get this thing to go in. No. One tooth at a time. Boom. I think that's it. There it is. Got her dialed in. Directly in line with the cam and crank. The balancer's at 0. I wish that alternator wasn't there. You could really see it. But there we go. So now I am ready to put a distributor back in this puppy. And then I have to do the firing order. And I'm going to change the coil. And cover that thing off for vacuum leaks. I'm sure there's going to be at least 10. And that's where we're at. So on this episode of Will It Run, we did the plugs, I put the mini starter on it, and we clocked the intermediate shaft. I think the next episode is the one. Installment 3, third time's a charm. I ran out of time tonight. It's dark. I gotta go to work in the morning, so it's where we're at. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. And I will have, we're doing this. It's going to be 80 degrees next week. She's either going to run or she's not. So I'm confident. You know, this motor turns over real nice, and I got the proper ignition components. So if it's going to run, it's going to run. And let's give it a shot, right? So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.